Hello, yes. What am I doing? I want to switch off the radio, thank you very much. Pause that. We're waiting on Darren, who is giving Molly a second walk because Dobby didn't want to go a long walk and we should have left 10 minutes ago. I'm going into my dad's. Need to collect a prescription for him. Darren needs to go downtown for something, but I can't remember what it is. And I've just spotted how absolutely filthy the car is, so that's going to need washing. Every time we wash the car wash up here, farmers must use it to wash machinery because sometimes you end up with big, like the brush must be absolutely filthy. Oh come on, how long is it going to be away for? Yeah, I can't think of anything of any interest to tell you. Kira and Thomas are still not very well. Thankfully it hasn't, I don't seem to have caught whatever it was, but I think it just tipped her system over the edge with all the issues she has and then a really bad bug on top of it. But some of the stuff the ambulance drivers were telling us was proper scary. They said it's only going to get worse and it's going to get to the point that we're going to all have to have private medical insurance. All new doctors, nurses, paramedics, all the younger ones all have private health insurance. So we're still in the midst of revision. Well, we will be until his final exam, which is at the end of May. But he's got like 2 weeks, more or less, with no exams and no school, which is a complete and utter, you know what I mean? All these exams coming up all in 1 week, right at the start, and then he's got 2 weeks of jack shit, no school, and then an RE exam. So it's like we're really not arsed what he gets for RE, but the maths would have been really useful to have where the RE is to give us the couple of weeks for just concentrate on maths, but of course that's not how it works. We've basically covered Northern Ireland history. Obviously he doesn't know precise dates of everything as yet, but he should have a good overview. We have to do Nazis as well this week. We're doing English literature. Here he comes now, finally. Right, I shall speak to you guys later.
I very much doubt my camera's going to pick this up, but it's actually snowing out here. Look at the blue sky. Look further up, we've got that beast, and it's snowing. Oh, it's a bit nipply. And it stopped.
Hello for the second time this week, I think. It is Thursday, it is Easter week, the week after, like Easter Sunday. We are just heading up to Belfast because I wanted to do something one day in all of the holidays other than bloody revision. We're going to try somewhere I've wanted to try for a while but haven't been because I thought it was a bit expensive. It's an all-you-can-eat buffet called Cosmo. I don't know if, I think they've got Cosmos all over, so you maybe know what it is already. It's got like Chinese, Japanese, I knew you were going to do that, Italian, and like normal, like, you know, like carvery, like roast and tatties and all that sort of thing. So we're going to try that this afternoon.
I've got my clown pants on.
I've got jeans on, which is probably a really bad idea. Yes, we're going all the way to Belfast to go somewhere to eat. There's nothing on in the cinema at the right time. There's a couple of films we haven't seen, but one of them it's only me really that wants to see, which is The Magic Faraway Tree, which isn't on at the right time anyway. And there's one called Fuse, which I think is like an action thriller about a bomb somewhere in London, I think. But it's one of the, nothing that we're really fussed to go to see. I have no interest in the Mario movie whatsoever. And that's about all that's on at the minute. Would have been nice if had been something on because the cinema's in the same building. We have to remember to get men actually walking about, and she was just, it was like constant, the amount of food that she put down her. And like I say, she must have been, it was actually quite disturbing to watch how quickly and how much food she was stuffing down her throat. And as I looked at her, I thought, that girl has to be bulimic. I'll never forget it.
Yeah, but then she kept on going to the toilet and then going back and getting up there.
It was weird.
And it was like, right, that's your plan, is it?
This week we've been doing revision for English literature. I still maintain that the exam system now is ridiculous. It was bad enough when we were at school, but you know the way a lot of people say, oh, school's so much easier now. Well, aspects are. Like, example, for those of you that are my age or roundabout, when we were at school for maths, they wouldn't give you formulas, you know, like the formula for the circumference or area of a circle, or the formula to find the area of a trapezium or something stupid like that.
That doesn't need to be blocking the road off. There's plenty of room on site to do that.
They wouldn't give you that when we were at school, so you had to go in armed with all of your formulas. Now, in the maths paper now, on the inside, on the front page, they give you all the formulas, which makes it a lot easier. The maths exam is a lot easier than it used to be. Spanish is another, like languages is another example. They get to know when they go into their Spanish conversation, speaking with their teacher, exactly what subject they're going to be talking about, down to what questions she's going to ask them. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but when I did languages at school, you could be asked anything that you had learned that entire, since you started, and everyone's conversation would be different because it would depend what you said, what she would ask next. So it was a proper conversation. You had to prove you could converse about anything that you'd learned in Spanish, so that's easier. Listening's easier because the teacher does it and it's normal speed, or so it's slowed down and they get to hear it more than once. We would get native speakers speaking at normal pace and you would get to hear it once and that was it. So I will concede that that's easier, but English, absolutely not. English when I was at school was comprehension, and then you would have to do an essay question about a subject, as far as I remember. Now, English literature is an example. I remember my essay for English literature. Come on, I'm nowhere near the fucking car.
I don't know why this white car threw in front stopped here. If they needed to stop, they could have gone this little side
There's
road
a
here.
caravan at the front. Somebody's towing a caravan, and I think that's what slowed everyone. There's a big... Oh, there's someone stopped.
Yeah, there's someone stopped there. But why stop there? If you needed to stop there. It's safe.
Because people are retards.
He's on his fucking phone.
It's probably lost.
Fucking moron.
Now, they have to... For English literature as an example, this is what we've been looking at this week. They've studied Of Mice and Men, which I've read. I've watched the film a couple of times. They can be given any one of examples. She's probably given 50 different essay titles, like so many for each character, and you can be asked, right, what I think they're going to be asked is one of four things. I think they're going to be asked to discuss loneliness on the ranch, to discuss discrimination on the ranch, George and Lenny's relationship, like George as a good friend to Lenny, or what was the other one? Slim as a kind character. Apologies if you don't know Of Mice and Men. I'm sure some of you will. But there's like a potential 10 different essay questions per character. Not only do they have to discuss, it would be easy if you just had to discuss examples of discrimination or loneliness, and that would be easy. No, they have to discuss the subject that they're given, which is random. They don't know what it's going to be. They have to provide quotations from the book, preferably 2 per paragraph. They have to do 7 paragraphs, 5 arguments for, like, yes, the ranch is a lonely place because blah blah blah, provide two quotes per paragraph. They have to do 2 counter arguments, so they have to say how the ranch could be perceived as not to be a lonely place, provide quotes for that, and then they have to knock down the counter argument. Some people might say that the ranch isn't a lonely place because blah blah blah, but in my opinion, da 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 da. So 2 quotes per paragraph, 7 paragraphs, intro, outro, and that's bad enough. They also must analyse the literary techniques used in those quotes. So they have to say, the ranch is a lonely place because George states, blah blah blah. In this quotation, Steinbeck utilises the literary technique of whatever. His intention was to blah blah blah, whatever. And you have to say if you feel it's successful or not, and then you have to say how that would make the reader feel in every single case. And then after you've said how it makes the reader feel, you have to zoom in on a specific word or expression, analyse that, and then you must link back to the original quote or question by saying, so in my opinion, this does illustrate the fact that the ranch is a very lonely place. You must do that every single paragraph, even though you're repeating yourself, and even though to me and to any other person with a brain, it makes really boring reading and it's not a good piece of writing. It's a format that they must follow, and if they don't follow that precise format, they don't get the points. Now, I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. I would rather read an insightful essay about a person's viewpoint and them analysing the book generally, and yeah, throw in a few quotes. But to tell every pupil you must do this exactly, it's an English language is even bloody worse. They're given, it's about persuasive language and speeches. So they'll get they'll get a subject, could be anything, and they have to write a persuasive speech or piece of writing to argue the point, and it's same again, 5-2, intro, outro, knock down, rebuttal, analyse language, then they get like a paragraph or something, they have to analyse that, say what's been used, how it's effective, how it makes you feel, and then they get a picture. It'll be like a movie poster or a holiday poster or something, and you have to talk about what methods are being used to sell whatever that is. Is it successful? Why is it successful? How would the customer feel looking at this? It's ridiculous. And I mean, I would say my grasp of English is pretty good. I'm not like just, you would say my English is pretty good. I'm not just talking myself up. If I was in the class, I'm not saying I would struggle. I think it's stupid, and I think that your average student, every time I'm doing it with Isaac, I think to myself of every child that I know that didn't get into the grammar school, that went to the normal high school, with a couple of exceptions, and I imagine them writing this essay, and I think, how the hell are these people passing English? How is anyone passing English that's not super intelligent, autistic, to the point that they can remember everything? You're just regurgitating shit. It's not a proof of intelligence. It's wrong. English now. If Isaac gets through his English with a pass, we will all be very happy. That's all we're expecting. But I mean, his level of writing would exceed a lot of kids that he was in primary school with that went to the other school. He wouldn't be at the top of the class. He wouldn't probably even be in the top half of the class. But you would expect that any child that's in the grammar school should breeze through English and maths. No. It's the one subject I think Isaac will struggle to pass, because it's absolutely ridiculous, if you ask me. There's 2 little dogs coming. We have to look at the dogs. You can't not look at the dogs.
They've just been for a clip.
Yeah, they've been for a groom.
Need a jumper on this one though.
So yeah, I say this so that when you guys your kids get to that level, GCSE, it'll be interesting for you to tell me what I know, I don't know.
Why is clear view of the roundabout, nothing coming? Oh, we'll stop and have a look around.
Darren suffers from road rage.
It's just when you're on a gradient into a main road and somebody stops when they can clearly see there's nothing coming. I'll just have a little stop and a look round. Find my gear.
So that's what's happening right now. Loads of revision, and I had a rant about it on Facebook yesterday. I said everything he's got. He gets a month long. If I've done this already, I apologise, but I'm saying it again. They're given basically the entire month. I think it's the 5th of May to the 3rd of June. They're off school completely. All of his exams, except for RE, are in the first week. So he gets the only extra time he has that he wouldn't have if he was at school is like during the daytime. But his exact 4 of them, because he's resitting his English language, are in the first week. And then he's 2 weeks, jack shit, nothing. And at the end of that 2 weeks, he's got his RE exam. Then he's got a few more days off, and then he's back at school. So all of those 2 weeks are wasted time. Because, other kids that have got different exams have got 2 weeks revision time. Meaning, a lot of them probably didn't even have to do any revision at all, because they'll do it all then. Now, granted, 2 of the ones in the first week are English and maths, and everyone has to do those. But he's got 2 English, a maths, and a history. And 2 weeks before that, he's got Spanish speaking, which is worth 25% of his GCSE. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. And that's just, when we did GCSEs, you did your exams at the end of 5th year. They're doing them all through 4th and 5th year. And yes, I think it's good that they split them up, but what I don't think is good is that they have to do, in some cases, 6 exams for one subject. The hell's that all about? So you're constantly learning and constantly revising. I get why, because it keeps the information in, but kids have lives. He's got jiu-jitsu, which he's thinking about stopping, and they've got gold tab grading coming up. He's got explorers, and they're like going on loads of like hikes and this, that and the other, and there'll be camps coming up. He can't afford to take time away from study to do that. What's the other thing he does? Guitar lessons every Monday, and he's supposed to be doing his grade 3 in guitar sometime. Well, the guy said April. It's now April. No whisper of it, because I would have to pay to book it, wouldn't I?
No, supposedly if Isaac goes in next week and nails it, we can go through from next week.
Alright, I don't know that piece of information, no. So, there's just a lot happening right now, and every subject at school seems to think that their subject's the only subject, and the sheer amount of literature that's been given out to them. You would be sitting reading for a fortnight to get through one load of what's been given out, and then they keep giving them past papers, which, yes, it's useful to see past papers, but to demand that they complete all the past papers when maybe, like a friend of mine whose son is going through GCSE at the minute, he's actually autistic, and she said he's got his own way of learning, and doing past papers doesn't help him. So for teachers to dictate, this is what you have to do, or to say this needs to be done by this specific time, and you've maybe got other exams coming up before that subject, it's like, no, let the kids organise their own how they revise. Example, and this really frustrates me, I told you that I had all the subjects in the first week, and then 2 weeks, and then RE. So you would think, right, let's forget RE, let's just wipe it from our head. We've got 2 full weeks, and RE's not important anyway. We'll use those 2 weeks that we've got. No, because over Easter week, a message goes up on the Teams. Here is the seating plan for the RE exam on the day that they're back after Easter, the 13th of April. There's the fucking rain. And I'm like, what do they mean, 13th of April? Your fucking exam's not to the 29th of May. What's happening? Turns out they've got a exam conditions mock RE exam in the assembly hall, all sat, you know, like you do for your actual GCSE, proper serious mock. They've had no mocks for any subject. This is the only time when we don't want to be looking at RE. I'm not interested in looking at RE, and he has to go in and do a fucking mock exam. Oh, it's just like, why? It's not important. The kids have got their English and maths. They must pass English and maths. They are the first two exams the kids have. No, here you can have a fucking mock RE. Yes, I'm cross. It's pointless. Is it so that they can, oh, we're so wonderful, we're so holy, we're so Catholic? They can piss off. That's what they can do. But I'm proper stressed. I was not in the slightest bit stressed for my GCSEs. Absolutely fine. As a matter of fact, I enjoyed doing my GCSEs. But now, I'm sure kids are stressed to the eyeballs trying to get everything fitted in. I am going to, and I will give you a little timestamp later on tonight or at some point over this week, I am going to read you the opening and paragraph 1 of his essay, Trump versus DiCaprio Speeches. This is another, there's somebody up my arse. This is another, I'm doing 76, so I'm breaking the fucking speed limit and there's still a fucking Volkswagen up my arse. There it goes. Speaking of Trump, what do you reckon to the whole Iran situation? And even the name of the, what is it, something Fury? Epic Fury. I mean, really? Oh, it's embarrassing. It's like, why is there not someone that works for that man doing something to stop him?
He's now put a post out this morning saying that all the troops are ready to go and they're looking forward to it.
I'm sure they are. I'm sure. Fucking cannon fodder. All these young people being. It's wrong, and I don't know why he hasn't been impeached. Even if you want to ignore the stuff that he's done, he's causing financial ruin across the world. America's never had a worse president, and that's been proven by experts that have studied it.
Anyone with a fucking ounce
It could
of anything
start a fucking world war. China and Russia are looking at getting involved in the situation. Why has nobody in his cabinet said, right, this guy, he's lost his marbles, he's not right, he's got dementia, he doesn't know what he's doing, he's an old man, let's impeach him, let's get rid of him.
He's making more money.
Darren says because he's making them all money. Surely,
simple as that.
World War and the complete ruin financially of your entire country is more important than
get financial ruin. They get richer.
Yeah,
like if he goes in and destroys Iran, his family, which is not allowed to do what they do, will get the contracts from America to go rebuild it. He wants to go
I'm
rebuild
not talking
Gaza.
about his family. I'm talking about the people that work alongside him politically. Their whole career is based around doing things for the good of the country.
All the people he's got working around him, they're all former podcasters, Fox News, so he doesn't really have a political group around him anymore.
So if you were making money, you would allow the whole country to be destroyed and potentially start a war that millions of people are going to die in just because you're making a quick buck. You think every single person around him has got that mindset?
He's got the head of FBI as a former
I don't
podcaster.
believe it. Don't believe it.
The head of the war room is a former Fox News host that got sacked for alcoholism.
Some of them, yes, but not everyone.
Nearly all of them in his top ranking positions that control all the different departments. None of them got experience in it.
Well, what about the people that are in charge of the courts? They have to have experience.
Yeah, but the ones in the courts where you need the votes to get things through, over the past 10 years, they've gradually pushed them out and got his own people in.
You've said all this, but there has to be people that are like tearing their hair out.
There is. But they haven't got the power to do anything because they haven't got the head count.
I can't get that he's that intelligent, that he has...
He's not, but the people around him with all the money are. And it's been a long ball game they've been playing to get everything how they want it, and they've done it.
But the 13th Amendment,
No, 25th Amendment, yeah.
is it not the 13th Amendment's in place in order for someone to be able to be withdrawn if they're seen to be not fit to do the job?
And it has to go through the House of Congress to vote him to do that.
But nobody's even suggested that it go through that.
There is ones, but it's not enough. This past week there's been people standing up saying, I want to be impeached, I want 25th Amendment, but there's not enough headcount votes to do it. It's shit. It's absolutely knackered, the whole system.
It makes no sense to me that this can happen. If I was an American, I would be A, embarrassed, and B, worried. You know, is it, like someone said, it was what's his face that played, Ron Perlman was interviewed about it, and what he said is so true. He is working so hard to remove any sign that Obama ever existed. He wants to wipe the first black president just from the record. Anything that Obama tried to do, he's trying to undo. It's like that's his mission rather than do a good fucking job for the country. It's like he goes on about America and about patriotism, and he's screwing America over. He's screwing the people. He's lying to people. He's promising things to get in.
You can now get a MAGA t-shirt that says, I don't care if he's a paedophile.
I think that's AI. I've seen that. I don't think it's real. I think that's a joke. Because why would you wear a t-shirt that says I don't care if he's a paedophile? I think the joke is MAGA people don't.
People get interviewed outside MAGA rallies and they get asked that question and they say I don't care.
Most people say he was tried in the court and he wasn't prosecuted. It wasn't. It's on. What is it? Jesus was unfairly accused, and Trump is being unfairly accused, just like Jesus. And Jesus rose again, so Trump will rise again.
Trump is the closest person to God on earth.
It's nauseating, absolutely nauseating, and I feel really sorry for people in the US that have that as their president. And I've had someone from America that's a YouTuber get really angry at me for one time sharing a speech that some famous person had made. I didn't write anything. I don't get political on Facebook. I just shared it because it was funny. I can't remember what celebrity it was, but I shared it. And he's like, oh, there's plenty of Americans that are very happy with what President Trump... And I'm thinking...
You're retarded.
Can you really have an IQ at all and be happy with what that man's doing?
Well, Mark Ruffalo on live TV months ago said Trump is a paedophile. Is he in court yet for slandering the president? No. What does that tell him?
It's what worries me. Well, not worries me because what's done's done, but there are suggestions that the reason he's doing this whole Iran thing is because there are individuals in positions of power that have proof and information about him related to the whole Epstein thing that would destroy him if it came out, and he is basically being used as a puppet. I don't know if that's true, but that's pretty damn scary if that's true.
He's been nagging for years to invade Iran, and everyone's always said, shut your little mouth, behave yourself, apart from Trump.
It's wrong. It's absolutely wrong.
And who's broken the ceasefire? Netanyahu. Why? Because he wants to take Lebanon as part of Israel.
Anyway, let's not talk any more politics, it's boring. Right, I've talked for half an hour. I may cut loads and loads of this out because it may be really noisy anyway. But yeah, I'll let you see the grub, that's more interesting. I'll let you see the food when we get there. Hopefully it's not horrible, fingers crossed. I shall speak to you later. Can't see it being busy today.
Especially with the weather.
Bring Isaac to a buffet. That's what it comes out with. Right, I've gone Chinese. But there's also Indian, Mexican, Japanese, Italian. There comes Darren. This is a wee look. There's Darren coming with our bottomless drinks.
Nobody wants to see me eating.
I've been out-phased. I've got a small plate of Chinese and I'm full.
We're eating out.
But Apparently Isaac says in the Italian section they've got pasta. So I'm not best pleased that I'm not able to eat it. I fill up too quickly. But there's dessert. And if the question is pasta or dessert, the answer is dessert. The answer is always dessert. And they've got whippy ice cream as well. So Isaac's going to get that now. He's coming back. I'll show you when he's just almost here. He doesn't have much on his plate though. Let's have a look.
I don't know how it works, so I'm waiting. But there's a chocolate fountain.
There's a chocolate fountain. He doesn't know how it works, so he's just got
Chocolate fountain and marshmallow.
get a load of that, folks. We didn't get loads of stuff. We literally didn't get loads of stuff, and look at the amount on that freaking plate, honestly. Save a little bit some more. Hang on, I need to get a comb over there. You know what, we'll pass it. To make everything right. Hello. To Sunday, I've just put this, I know it's really close guys, just bear with me, that's just where I put the tripod. You know when you get to an age, I can see my granny looking at me now. I'm so fucking cold today, it's freezing. I don't like having my hair up. My hair needs washing, I'm doing it later tonight, which is why it's in a bun. So yeah, it is Sunday, heading into my dad's this afternoon, complete with RE to do revision for his mock test tomorrow. He stayed at Stephen's last night. Another big row yesterday when Darren was taking him into Stephen's. He got smart-arsed about something. I'm not even going to go into the whole story, but basically Darren was questioning something, and he is like a dog with a bone when he's like wanting to know something. And Isaac got irritable. Basically, Isaac got irritable. Darren raised his voice like he has a tendency to do. Isaac said something. It said to me like the week before, what is it to you if my room's tidy? Well, he says to your dad, what is it to you what I do with my money? Basically, what it was is they'd made money busking, but he'd been keeping his at Stephen's and not bringing any home. And what had pissed Darren off was then he's never got any money and always expecting to be helped out or to be bought things. And Darren's like, well, why are you leaving that money? You should be bringing it home. And he's like, what is it with you? What I do to my money? It's my money. And anyway, he got really arsey and like just rude. Darren brought him back and says, right, fuck that, I'm not taking you, brought him back. And then there's me sat in the middle trying to, you know what I mean? So, we've got 2 gigs this week, young blood, both nights, Tuesday and Wednesday. The reason for it is because we'd bought tickets for the Dublin gig, and then 6 months later they added more dates, and Belfast was one of those dates. So if we could, I tried to sell the Dublin tickets, but it's not sold out, so no one's interested. And there's there's seated tickets. People don't want seated tickets. And there's 3. You know, you maybe get 2 if you're lucky. But no interest. So he next Thursday, Friday and Monday he has to recreate. I was going to read you that essay and I've forgotten. Can I? Can I get it? No, by the time I get it up on that, what I'll do is I have to print it out later tonight anyway for him to take to school with him, so I will I'll print it out and put it at next week's to let you hear some of it. I will also put the timestamp as to when I've stopped reading it. I just want you to hear the level of which they expect a 15-year-old to write. So it's 7 word typed pages and they have to recreate that in an hour. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. 3 20-minute sittings. So we have to somehow, the night before the first sitting, he's in Dublin. We won't be home until like 2 o'clock. It's not like we can learn it on the way home because it's going to be dark in the car. You can't drive up the fucking motorway with a light on. Isaac gets car sick when he's trying to read something in a car. It's like, ugh, I don't know what to do. I really don't know what to do for the best, but there is no time to learn it the night before. Absolutely none. So I don't know. We're going to have to, next week was supposed to be maths revision all week. But it looks like this fucking English, and it's only worth 10%. It's ridiculous. And apparently it is marked by your teacher, but then the examination board, they then take, random ones and they'll check them to make sure the teachers are being, fair. But the teacher has said if you don't score well, you will be redoing it. Oh, I'm sorry, but that's taking time away from revising for other things that are important, like maths. So when we're going to fit these things in is anybody's fucking guess at this point. But we have to try and remember these fucking S. It's wrong. Have you seen the wording of it? It's ugh. We shouldn't be at these. We shouldn't be at the Dublin gig for sure. But it's like, it's a lot of money to just not go. You know what I mean? I just wish we could have sold on the tickets. But these essays they just drop them on you. It's like, oh yeah, you're going to have to do this on these 3 dates. And then there's like the RE mock. Oh yeah, you're going to have to. It's like, I'm sorry, but that's 5, because we revised RE on Friday. We're revising RE again today. And then there's 3 separate days they have to do this English essay in school under exam conditions. That's 5 individual, actually more, because we need another night for the English because we're at the gig. I needed those nights for something else. Like, I've still not even, we haven't looked at Nazis yet at all. We haven't looked at maths. I haven't looked at English language for the repeat that he has to do, which is on the 7th of May. We're now on, oh, my phone's there. I think it's like the 12th of April. So, yeah. He's got his Spanish speaking as well. 25% of his GCSE, and that's on the 27th, I think, of April. So that's first. So he's got that on a Friday morning. So that entire week he has to do Spanish because he has to do 2 role plays and 2 long discussions, and he doesn't know loads of it. So that's a whole week on Spanish. He's got a whole week on Nazis, and somewhere in the midst of all that we have to fit in English and maths. And maths he really needs, Isaac does need the revision on maths. I just don't want this hanging over my head for years and years and years, trying to do this, like I said, when you see the level of this English, and Isaac's not good at English, it's not his thing. He doesn't read, he doesn't like to read, no interest. People that read are nerds. He actually says nobody reads. I says, Isaac, plenty of people read. No, they don't, not people my age. So that's quite sad. But I don't know, it's just very stressful right now. And guess when the results for all these come in? When we're in fucking Florida. So obviously we can request to get them via email, which we will be doing. In the middle of our holiday, can you imagine if they all come back as fails? What that does to your holiday, you know what I mean? Fucking scunnered. Right, I'm going to sign off now. Thank you for watching, thank you for putting up. I will get back to your comments at some stage, guys. I need to have the time to sit down and go through loads of them. I just tend to avoid emails. And I mean, I went in the other day just to look at my emails, and I've got like 30 odd emails mostly from people on YouTube. Do you want to do a live stream here? I want to do this project, we'll do that. And it's like, and then just people, oh, how are you? And it's like, it's very nice for people to contact you, but honestly, do these people, what do they do day to day? It's like, if I were to go in and answer those emails, because there's so many of them, it'll take me hours. And before I've finished answering the emails, loads of the people that I've emailed will have emailed me back again. So I'm no further on than I was to start with. It's like, what are you doing? Are you not at work or something? What are you doing? Honestly, I just don't know where people get the actual time to sit commenting on videos and fucking emailing all day long. I don't understand. It's like, no, Jesus Christ. I'm too busy learning fucking Nazis, Northern Ireland, and all these GCSEs at the minute. That's what I'm doing. All my time is spent trying to condense all this work into manageable notes and cue cards and... Ugh, fed up. Really, really fed up at this point. And for a subject like RE, it's like, piss off. You're making them do a mock. There's no mocks for anything else but for art. Sorry, the cushion's hitting off my tripod. There's no mocks for anything other than this. Why the hell that... Oh, I'm not going to start again. Right, thank you for watching, guys. I shall be back next week. Stressed as usual. You can expect this for the next few weeks. At least you know, at least you know you'll have the Florida vlogs in August. Actually, it'll probably be September because I don't do the vlogs till I get home. Yeah, it just takes too long to sit and watch through them all because Darren has his little handheld thing and he films everything. So I maybe only put a vlog together of about half of what he's filmed. It takes way too long to put together what he's filmed and take parts out and all the rest of it. So I do that when I get home. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. I shall, yeah, speak to you next week.